morning, gorgeous. Great to see you. It's a beautiful day. Not going to waste any time. There we are. Hello again. Here's the day. You can hear the birds having their conversations from tree to tree. There's the sky. It's kind of a rice pudding sky, and I say that because this particular fractal pattern reminds me of what the top of my mother's rice pudding used to look like when it came out of the oven. So there. Now, here we are, the cherry tree. We've just got sunstrike, so I'm going to have to get rid of the sunstrike. Good morning, Amy! And look, we've got cherry flowers. There's not as many of them as there were last year because the cherry tree has been pruned. Of necessity, it was pruned because it was so thick that it was smothering the roses like no light. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Jan. Dear beautiful people, thank you for joining me. Oh, here we go. The sun shines on it now. Good morning, Robin. So, you know, cherry blossom in a blue sky on a still morning. There is nothing missing at all. There it is. I'm very glad I can share this with you because it's beautiful, and, you know, it's one of the whole reasons for a garden is to have beauty. So there it is. What else? I mean, there is a lot. This is this is spring, right? And we have lots of this beautiful magnolia. So that's the next thing that we're just going to savour for a little while. If I stand back a little, this tree has become a tree. It was a shrub for a long time. It was about this big when I got it, and that was a long time ago. Magnolias are slow, but there it is. And you can even, we can get them both in the same frame. The sunstrike's a bit in the way. Let's enjoy the cinerarias, because they always come up here. They're always wild and wonderful, and you never know what colour you're going to get. And they're actually looking a lot like themselves on my screen today, so hopefully the colour's really accurate. Just look at this. Oh, the focus isn't ideal. We need to... there you go. Look at the shape here. And then look at the shape here. And the shape here. Aren't they all just so different and so amazing? How it changes. This is the newest flower, and then it becomes like this, and then it becomes like that as the flower ages. I just think that's glorious. Different patterns in the centres of the flowers. Good morning, Julia. This is just gorgeous. I've never really paid attention like this and noticed the different shapes in the cineraria flowers as they age. And here is the fabulous purple that's got kind of almost red in the centre. It's beautiful, and there's another big pile of them over here. It is like a pile. Look at that. They're just wonderful. They are not daisies, but they have the same kind of configuration. Last but not least, we can't miss the Spiraxis bed, which is, it's doing the thing that it does when it starts to age, that the flowers become sort of pinker and greyer, that they fade in the sun, basically. They start off quite orange. That's the sort of, this is a late one. There we go, now you got the focus. So they start off that colour, and then when they've been open for a while, they turn this colour. And, it's just part of the process that they change as they age. And then the sun hits them, and it's this bright reflection. So it's glorious, and I just am very glad that I can share it with you, because it's way more fun sharing this with you than it is just enjoying it on my own. I love it on my own, but it's way better to know that you can see it and enjoy it too. Oh look, we have some orange ones in here. And let me show you. Spiraxis, quote unquote. Oh look, pink. Pink. This is the pink one. They're supposed to look like this. They're supposed to not have any streaky bits on them. This is a quote unquote healthy Spiraxis. But most of the ones that I got, and I got them a long time ago, came with these streaky things going on. It's a virus that infects the bulb. Doesn't kill it, just changes the flower. And en masse, they're still fabulous. But here in the shade, you can see the colour better. These ones are a little bit newer, so they're still more orangey. They haven't faded as much. And it's pretty fabulous, really. Just walking around a little bit more. Yeah, see, there's some proper red ones here that don't have any virus in them. If only we can get the camera to focus on them. Focus on my hand, camera. Sort it out. It's trying, but not really succeeding. However, I noticed that these ones are unstreaked. There you go. You get the idea. It's not perfect, but nothing is. So, flowers en masse, and they're pretty fabulous. And here's the poster shot. You can see the cherry and magnolia and the flowers all together, and this strange spike of the sedum plant coming up in the middle, which is pretty amazing on its own. I'll just get close. Yeah, it'll turn into something like this over a number of years. Right, get to the subject. Get back into, well, onto the level lawn, I think, because the background's a little bit nicer. So today, again, I'm just picking topics out of thin air because just what do I feel like talking about today? And yesterday, it really does. It did spring from yesterday. Although I can't remember what yesterday was because today's a new life. But I decided I want to talk about abundance and I want to talk about money because, you know, for a long time I really struggled with that. And by the way, I'm still not a millionaire. But the difference is I feel like a millionaire a lot of the time. I feel wealthy now because I've been practicing that. Good morning, Heather! And really I want to talk about why the practicing is so important. And to do that, I'm going to talk about something that people wouldn't really think about as being why practicing what you want to have in life is important. And that is the whole problem of self-sabotage, right? And, you know, it's the typical story where somebody gets everything they ever wanted and they don't understand it and they watch themselves do it, they destroy it, they pull it to pieces. Now, why is that? Why, when the very thing that you want the most in life arrives, do you systematically bugger it up? How does that happen? So really, you know, I've only just realised I probably should have titled this about being about self-sabotage, but it's the flip side, right? If you get everything you want in life, but you are not the person who knows how to have what you want in life, you will go back to being the person you really are. And if that means you have to destroy everything that you want in life to get back to being who you really feel you are, you will do it. And you won't understand why, but that's why. We really only get to live and be who we actually are. So if, like me, you want to become a truly wealthy person because there is stuff in your life that you want to create and it requires resources to do that, and resources really are about creation. Hello? Money's not evil. Money allows us to create, period. And it allows us to stop focusing on survival, for crying out loud. Money is just lovely stuff and it's neither good nor bad. It allows people to create. What they do with it, well, you know, that's a different story. So, if I want to be truly wealthy, I have to become truly wealthy, truly worthy, truly whole, truly everything that I think it means to me when I have lots of money in the bank and can do what I want in my life, because I'm spending that money. Having it in the bank is nothing. Spending it to create, that's what I'm interested in, right? Because of the joy of creating what I desire. That's the payoff. That's the reason why we do anything, is because of how it makes us feel. Just making sure you make that connection. So, if I want to be that person, I've got to know how it is to be that person. Because I remember this so clearly. Don't know why I remember it so clearly, but I do. I remember being, 18 or 19 or 20. Probably 19, actually. Wild guess, but anyway. And walking through the streets in Lower Hutt, I think we were walking past a jeweller. I can't recall. I can see where I was in the shop window and all that, but I can't remember what was inside the shop window. And remembering that the whole we were window shopping and finding it depressing, deeply depressing, And it was depressing because it was also out of reach. And underneath the fact that it was also out of reach, g'day Richard, lovely to see you. Underneath the fact that it was also out of reach was actually the fact that none of it really lit me up anyway. I've talked about that other times, none of that stuff excites me, and it just took me a long time to realise that the only thing that excites me is creating and serving and doing what I want to do in my life, but primarily that's so that I'm happy and healthy and wealthy and can do things for other people. It's just who I've chosen to be. So, and money's a tool for that. You're quite right, Linda. It's just a tool. Just enables us to do things. And depending on what you want to do, you need some or you need a whole lot of none. Doesn't matter. It's just what you choose. But at that time, the whole idea of just buying things for fun, and I didn't realise that buying things for fun was just not something that was ever going to make me happy, but the whole idea of just walking down the street and thinking, I'd like to buy that, or that'd be nice, was so depressing because it was so far out of reach to me. I felt so poor inside. Now, I was working and I had money, but I felt incredibly poor inside. Because in my head, there were all these things I had to save money for, and I needed to be able to be sure that I could pay for this and pay for that. There was a lot of fear, there was a whole lot of stuff in my head, in my body, in my heart about money. And here's the thing, looking back on my life until the last maybe 3 years, none of that really changed. I can look back and see when my husband and I were both working full time, and I still felt like that. I still felt so fearful and poor and disempowered and afraid to spend money. And it was stressful to have to spend money. It was like, no, I need to hold on to all of this, because if I don't hold on to every last cent that I possibly can, there won't be enough. That was just who I was. And I guarantee you, if somebody had given me $5 million, I still would have felt like that. I had to change me. And it took me a long time to realise it. I have better tools now, but it took me a long time to realise that I really had to become the wealthy person before anything changed in my bank account. And to do that, I had to start imagining and creating, am I when I feel wealthy? Who am I? How do I feel? What do I think? What do I, and all of those questions. How does a wealthy Maddie show up? Really? And I remember, there was a period of time when I realised how much stress I felt just sitting down to log into my bank account to pay a bill or to see how much money there was in there, because there was never going to be enough, and however much it was not going to be enough. And it was just this fear, and it was strong, and it was visceral. It was like, oh my God, that has to change. That is not me being wealthy. That's me being poor and scared because there's not enough. There's not enough. It was so strongly ingrained in me from, my dear parents. Of course, they both came through the Depression after the Second World War. And they built wealth. They did. But it was not enough. Abigail, lovely to see you. Yeah, it was just a fantasy. And I was in exactly the same place, Linda. I never had more than just enough. And I realised eventually that I just had a just enough, barely just enough, scraping through, getting by, scrimping and saving, and always holding back on anything that was other than absolutely essential for survival. Because that was just what I'd grown up with, and it was what I was programmed with. I didn't know anything else. I hadn't seen anything else in action. So that was just how I thought you needed to be about money. But it took me a very long time to realise, oh my God, that's my programming. That's what I really, truly, viscerally believe. That's why I'm so scared. But that's not a wealthy person. That's not wealthy. And you see, the thing is, for me, wealthy now, let me check the clock, just so I don't, I'm stuck in my pocket at the moment. 14 minutes. Okay, nearly 15. Wealthy for me, it really is a feeling. It really is a feeling. It is a feeling of more than enough. And for me, it's not just a little bit more than enough. It's abundantly more than enough, because there's so much I want to do, and there's so much I want to create, and it's all about impact. It's all about other people. And wealthy is I get to enjoy my life. I get to savor my moments and my experiences, and I still have challenges. Money isn't one of them. And over time, I've been pruning away the old circuits about fear and constantly concerned about money. It's always in the background to where I don't think about it. I remember, not exactly when, but I remember I made this decision. I am going to stop looking at my bank account. I'm going to avoid looking at my bank account. I just had to stop giving it attention. And yeah, and Abigail, I'm totally with you. One of the benefits of having had this mentality for so long is that I have learned to absolutely savour enoughness. I so enjoy just enough. Paul, it's great to see you. I do. And there's a lot of things that, it's like, why would you pay $5,000 for some flashy designer pizza with gold leaves in it when you could eat an ordinary pizza for $10 and give the other $4,990 to some people who actually freaking need it? I totally get that. I am so not into excess. I'm into impact. I have a passion for impact. And for that, I need a ton of money. I do. At least I need to have a ton of money flowing through me. I don't need the money myself. I need it to do stuff. So yeah, it can be really hard to conceive. Who am I when I have so much resource available to me, like streams of resource, whatever that is, if it's people or energy or money or land that grows food or houses where people can live or a website that serves millions, whatever it is, I have so much that I can express everything inside me that wants to be expressed and embodied on this planet. That to me is wealth. It's way, 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 way beyond money. Misty, you're here, yay! It's way, way, way beyond money. It is this feeling of I can express everything that is in my heart and my soul to be on this planet. That is wealth. And that's a long way from, oh God, if I pay this money, I won't have it for the next thing. There isn't enough. And we're very convinced by the illusion of lack, Abigail, you're quite right, because we perceive ourselves as separate from everything, and we perceive ourselves particularly separate from money. Oh my God, it's like, there's me, there's my bank account, that number, I can't will it to go up. Well, that's potentially a lie. I haven't got to the stage where I can just look at the number and see it go up. But, we have these ideas about it. Now, if somebody gave me $5 million now, I think I would rest into that pretty easy. But, if someone had given me $5 million 20 years ago, yeah, I would have been excited. I thought, oh my God. And then I would have started feeling really scared. And I would have found professionals to help me manage it, which is fair enough, no problem with that. But I would have done that out of fear. I remember when I got my first mortgage with my first husband. My God, it was stressful. And the stress was in me. It's like, oh my God, debt, this is awful. I had the, No, the fact that you can actually borrow money to have a house to live in means the bank thinks you're abundant enough to support it. There's nothing wrong with debt. If you make use of it consciously, and you trust the flow, and you've done your homework, and you're not just burying yourself in debt because you've got a problem, it's just a tool. So there's a lot of stuff to unpack. Who am I when I'm wealthy and spiritual? Ooh, whoa, can I just hear the rattling of the dags on that one? Because we have so much crap in our heads about money somehow being dirty or not spiritual. Let me tell you, when I get to do all the things that I desire, it's going to be really, really spiritual. And it's not going to happen without money. So, coming back to the point that I want to talk about, I got to become that person, that master, that wealthy, abundant, effective, impactful human being long before that money arrives. Because if it arrives before I'm ready for it, I am not going to know what the feck to do with it. What are they going through to buy this house? Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? That is amazing. That's abundance manifesting. It's incredible what people will do because they desire to. Abundance comes in all kinds of ways. We have this idea that it means lots of money in the bank. It can come in many, many ways. I have to get myself out of that space too, you know. To think, it has to be like this. I don't know. In the core of me, I know. And more and more I trust exactly, how it unfolds. I can't see it, but I feel it. And that feeling, that certainty, that confidence, that knowing, I see it manifest. I see amazing synchronicities, things that I couldn't have planned, that I know is the universe saying, you're on path. Don't even think about the money. It's there for you. And it is there for me. I just have to become it. Yeah. And you can become abundant in breath, Misty darling. I know what you're focusing on. Well, no, I have an idea of what you're focusing on. I don't know. I have an idea. For you, breath is a very, very precious thing. So imagine yourself breathing abundantly, feeling no lack of air. Oh my God, that's abundance. Wow, Abigail, I'm going to enjoy reading the rest of your comment. This is such a big, exciting topic. I guess we'll pick up on this on Monday. Abundance is way more than money, and it is a state of being. Oh, God, that used to piss me off when people said that. Now I understand it. But I hope when I say it's a state of being, you understand what I mean, why I'm saying it. Because I'm going through this process of becoming wealthy, and my bank account has changed. It hasn't changed that much, but it has changed. Because I'm more abundant, and so it's got to happen in 3 dimensions. But it has to become me, has to become who I am first. And if you read the story of anybody who has overcome a significant barrier in their life through this lens, you do have abundance. You have abundant air. You're abundant, honey. You will see them becoming the person that they desire to be. And the process they go through, if you like, is their initiation into whatever their abundance is that they're creating in themselves. The sports, the sports win, I've got lots of money, I found the love of my life. They become the person they desire to be through the process that they explain, that they write, that they talk about. That's their initiation. I know I'm being initiated into wealth. And for me, wealth means all of those things, not just money. I don't give a shit about money. I give a shit about what I want to do. It's about impact. So your life is your initiation into whatever it is that you want to be abundant in. So, okay, it's your initiation, but who are you when you're on the other side of that? Who are you when you've walked over the coals? Who are you when you've jumped off the cliff and flew? Who are you when you are what you desire to be? Now go live that. Just a little bit. We grow into these things slowly, usually slowly. And then there's a quantum leap and everything arrives. And some of you know what I'm talking about because it's happening for you. I know I'm out of time. It's Friday. It's beautiful to share this conversation with you. Love you so much for joining me. Enjoy the resonant replays, and I'll see you Sunday, Monday. Bye-bye.